Welcome to the Systems Thinker Show. This is the place where we dive deep into improving team cultures. I'm your host, and today we are getting into something a little controversial. I mean, have you ever been in that spot? You pour your heart into a project, you absolutely crush it, you move the needle for the whole team, and then your boss gets weird, right? Instead of a high five, you get this awkward silence. It's like your success is suddenly a problem. Well, today we're going to figure out exactly why that happens and, more importantly, what you can do about it. So this is Season 7, Episode 56. We're continuing our series on improving team culture by digging into the 48 Laws of Power. And look, I know this book gets a bad rap sometimes, but awareness of these dynamics, it's absolutely key to improving team performance and building healthier, more effective organizations.
Okay, before we really jump in, I have to say a huge thank you. Seriously, we're now reaching listeners in 54 countries. How amazing is that? And a special shout out to all the students in China who are listening through our case study website. We see you and we appreciate you. Now this brings me to a quick but super important ask. If you're getting something out of this show, could you do me a favor? Hit that subscribe or follow button and maybe share this with, 10 friends or colleagues you think would dig it. Here's the deal. Less than 20% of you are actually subscribed. Clicking that button is free, but for us, it's huge. It tells the algorithm that we're doing something right, and that helps us keep bringing you these best-in-class business insights.
And hey, just a quick reminder, everything we talk about here really complements our business playbooks. Shift Happens, How to Lead with Purpose and Discipline Every Day, and the two-parter, Culture by Design, Power by Discipline, Volumes 1 and 2. You can grab all three on Amazon and other online bookstores pretty much everywhere. US, UK, Canada, Europe, Japan, and Australia.
All right, let's get into it. The main event. We're cracking open Robert Greene's playbook, the one everyone has an opinion on, to look at one of its most famous and probably most misunderstood laws.
Here it is, law number 1, never outshine the master. Now hold on, this doesn't mean you should play dumb or hide your talents. Not at all. It's about strategy. It's about managing perceptions. The core idea is simple. Make the people above you feel secure and smart. When you do that, you earn their trust. But if your amazing talent starts to cast a shadow on them, well, that's when you get fear and insecurity, not pats on the back.
Robert Greene himself put it this way, and it just cuts right to the chase. He says, make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. Look, this isn't about being a sycophant, it's about being sharp. It's about understanding the very human, very real dynamics in any workplace so that your awesome work and your career can actually move forward. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this look like in the real world, in an actual office? Let's dive into a case study that really brings this law to life. We're going to see how one really talented exec handled a super tricky situation. So, let's set the scene. We're at a company called Innovatech Solutions, and we've got two main players. First, there's John Stevens. He's the founder and CEO, a true visionary. But he's also a controlling micromanager, likes to have his hands in everything. Then you've got Sarah Taylor, the head of product. She is an absolute rock star, super skilled, ambitious, and industry expert. She's the one they brought in to shake things up and drive innovation. You can already see where this might get a little complicated, can't you? And yep, that's exactly what happened. The very thing that made Sarah so great, her competence, suddenly became a problem. John started getting threatened by her wins. He started taking credit for her team's successes in public meetings, and just like that, Sarah's career path hit a wall. It created this toxic culture where being too good at your job was actually a bad thing. All right, if you're the kind of person who loves big flavor and real craftsmanship, listen up. Today's sponsor is Crunch Time Gourmet Popcorn and Apples in Bridgeport, West Virginia. They're all about made fresh, made fun, made to crunch. With gourmet popcorn and caramel apples produced daily, and their homemade caramel is the centerpiece of everything they create. Small batch, one-of-a-kind recipe. Their caramel apples include flavors like Andy's Mint Chocolate, a Granny Smith apple dipped in homemade caramel, covered in milk chocolate, then rolled in crushed Andy's Mint candy. And if you're more of a snack and stream person, their movie theater butter popcorn brings that classic cinema vibe. Fluffy, rich, and buttery. So whether you're sending a gift, stocking the office, planning an event, or running a fundraiser, go to crunchtimewv.com. Shop now, and if you need fundraising or a food truck booking, hit their contact page. Today's resource spotlight is LinkedIn, the world's largest professional network built to connect professionals and help them be more productive and successful. If you want your ideas to travel further, especially in operations, leadership, and business, LinkedIn is one of the strongest places to publish and build relationships that turn into real opportunities. And if you're a business, LinkedIn also offers advertising that lets organizations reach professionals using targeting like job-related characteristics so you can get in front of the right audience, not just a big audience. Connect with our executive producer, Lanier Johnson, on LinkedIn at www.linkedin.com/in/Lanier Johnson. And if you're hiring, partnering, or want a guest spot request, message him directly there. Today's show is powered by Fundrise, the online investment platform that opens the door to alternative assets like venture capital. Their innovation fund, ticker VCX, is designed to deliver long-term growth by investing in a diversified portfolio of high-growth private technology companies across multiple stages of development. You can get exposure to firms focused on artificial intelligence, data infrastructure, and more before they go public, without the high barriers typically associated with traditional VC investing. Visit fundrise.com/VCX to learn how to start with as little as a small commitment and begin building for the long term.
So Sarah's at a crossroads, right? She's hit this massive roadblock. She could confront John, but let's be real, that's probably a losing battle. Or she could get strategic. She chose option B. She decided to practice what Robert Greene calls the art of indirection.
And this pivot was just brilliant. Check out what she did. First, instead of presenting her ideas as her ideas, she started framing them as simply building on John's original vision. Smart, right? Then, in meetings, she'd publicly praise him for his mentorship and contributions. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, she was quietly building strong relationships with the other execs. And, this is the big one, whenever her team had a major success, she made sure John was the one standing in the spotlight. She didn't stop doing incredible work, she just changed the packaging. So, the big question is, did it work? Oh yeah, it absolutely worked. But, and this is a big but, this whole strategy is not without its critics. We have to look at the other side of this coin, because, well, every success casts a shadow.
I mean, the results at Initech were night and day. John started to trust Sarah more, which meant he gave her more freedom to do her job. That toxic vibe at the top, it cooled down, and you could feel the team morale just shoot up. The whole leadership team started working together better, and what do you know, the company's growth took off. By playing it smart, Sarah got the autonomy she deserved, and the entire business won.
But here's where things get murky. As one Reddit user pointed out, and I think they nailed it, be careful with the book. It helps you identify manipulative behavior, but does not teach you when you should use it yourself. That really makes you think, doesn't it? Is what Sarah did a brilliant strategy, or is it just another flavor of manipulation?
And believe me, this isn't just a Reddit debate. It's everywhere. On one hand, you've got people calling this book a mega cult classic. It's loved by the Hollywood elite, the hip-hop world. They see it as a practical guide to how power really works. But then on the other side, you've got academics like Jeffrey Pfeffer from Stanford, who basically say, hold on, there's no solid research here, just a bunch of stories cherry-picked from history. Kirkus Reviews was even harsher, calling it plotting and didactic. This book really, really divides people.
So, where does that leave us? How are we supposed to think about a law like never outshine the master? Well, I think the key is to stop thinking of it as a hard and fast rule. It's not a rule. It's a tool in your toolbox. And that really brings us to the main takeaway today. You don't have to see what Sarah did as manipulation. You can see it as just incredibly high emotional intelligence. Think about it. She didn't lie. She didn't backstab. She just accurately diagnosed the human dynamic in the room, her boss's insecurity, and she navigated it. She used that understanding to create a win-win-win situation for herself, her team, and the whole company. It's about being aware of power dynamics, not necessarily being a power-hungry monster. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. In this big game of power we all play, where do you draw the line between strategy and manipulation? Because what one person calls savvy, another calls shady. Figuring out where that line is for you, well, that might be the most powerful move of all. Please support our sponsors. This episode was brought to you by Crunch Time Gourmet Popcorn and Apples out of Bridgeport, West Virginia. They make gourmet popcorn and caramel apples with homemade caramel crafted in small batches. Perfect for game day, movie night, gifts, or treating your team. Shop the flavors online at crunchtimewv.com. That's crunchtimewv.com. Want to go further? LinkedIn Premium is designed to help you get hired, grow your business, or learn new skills, depending on the plan you choose. If you're in a serious growth season, it's worth exploring. And this segment's featured platform is Fundrise's Innovation Fund, VCX.
If you've ever wanted access to high-growth tech companies before they go public, Fundrise gives regular investors the chance to participate in venture capital through a diversified fund. Learn more at fundrise.com/VCX. And for more info on everything we do, please visit our website at www.karaswininnovations.com.
Hey, thank you so much for listening. And don't forget to check out our other podcast, The Continuous Improvement Lab. And definitely go subscribe to our YouTube channel, Karas Innovations Group. A huge final thanks goes to our executive producer and founder, Leonard Johnson. We'll catch you on the next one.